Nobody understood how Sonny came out of it alive. Nobody understood how Sonny came out of it walking. Nobody understood how this man could be breathing and not need to go to the hospital. Nobody could understand that. I remember calling my brother, my middle brother, and he's like, oh my gosh, Jackie, I called Josh, I called my mom. It was just a whole disaster. I was freaking out. And so the next day, Sonny's sore. I mean, he is sore from everything. And he told me, it's time. January 2013, we will be starting It's All About Worship. And just like that, we were out of our wilderness. 1 year. Together. During that 1 year, now that I look back, I can see why we had to go through it. I can see why we had to walk through those valleys, because it taught us a lot about each other. It taught us a lot about our struggles together and what are my flaws and his flaws. So looking at Nehemiah 9, the Israelites are able to acknowledge why God had to have them go through the wilderness. They were able to acknowledge that even though they're disobedient, God was faithful, providing everything for them. I look back now at those years and I'm thinking to myself, in my wilderness, God never left us. And I want to believe that the reason why, not just because he's gracious and all of that stuff, we already know that, but I want to believe that he allowed us to come out of it stronger because of the fact that we continued to serve even though we were walking through this wilderness. Sometimes in our wildernesses, we give an excuse to stop serving.
Amen.
We say, oh, that's enough. Nope, God needs me to focus on him. And God says, no, I need to see what you're going to do right now in your pain and in your burden.
Amen.
I need to see. And sometimes I hear somebody say, do more. Your wilderness, do more. And they're like, no, I'm already tired. I'm already exhausted. I'm going to blame God now for everything that's going wrong in my life. Because when I wasn't in the wilderness, I was doing everything, and he still put me in this wilderness. If we look at David, how many of you know David? David is mostly remembered because of what? He hit Goliath. He killed Goliath. People don't want to look that David was an accomplice to murder. David was an adulterer. David had a woman's husband killed to hide his adultery. So in Psalms, David is in a wilderness. He's trying to, God is there, but God has made it clear that he is far. So David is writing these songs. He's writing these songs because he did so much wrong. But before God could show him restoration, David had to feel the pain of it. People want to rush restoration, right?
Amen.
People want to rush it. They don't want to go through the process. If you read Psalms, you'll see that in the beginning of the book of David, he's struggling. He's walking through a desert with everything in him. He is begging God for deliverance. He is proclaiming the goodness of God. But there are moments where you'll see and find David in misery. By the end of Psalms, you see God move and David is fully restored. There's 150 books in Psalms. You can only imagine how long David's wilderness was. In Psalms 116, 1-4, it says, I love the Lord because he has heard my appeal for mercy. Because he has turned his ear to me, I will call out to him as long as I live. The ropes of death were wrapped around me, and the torments of Sheol overcame me. I encountered trouble and sorrow. Then I called on the name of Yahweh. Yahweh saved me. How many of us have experienced God saving you? Come on, talk to me. How many of us have felt so low in the pits, so ashamed of everything that you've done, that you could literally feel God lift you up out of your hole? A lot of times we don't understand why we have to go through the wilderness, and we think that it's some kind of plan from the enemy, but in reality, God placed this there because we have to hit our promised land. So now I'm going to fast forward. So 2016. Life is good. We have troubles, of course, as husband and wife. Anyone who says they have a perfect marriage, they don't fight, everything is so wonderful, they're lying. Because it's impossible not to.
Amen.
Life is not perfect. So Christmas ends, and I'm excited, that things are good, the church, we're doing all really well. But I start feeling a little weird, strange, and I'm watching Sonny. And Sonny's fine. He's happy. He's laughing. He's proclaiming great things for this church. He's telling me how God's going to do amazing things for the Newmans, and how he's going to do amazing things for Leo and Addie, and how he's going to do amazing things for Lito, and how blessed he is to have John, and all these things. He's just saying all these things to me. And I'm asking him, are you okay? He's like, I'm good. I'm fine. Okay. He said, the church is going to do some great things in 2017. We're going to have our building, so much great things. I'm like, okay, sure. But the more he told me of these plans and the more excited that he got, I started feeling like more weird, more strange. And after New Year, I found myself, no joke, like just miserable. After New Year's, I found myself... Now, let me explain how we started New Year's this year. We all fell asleep. My mother-in-law was sleeping on the couch. My father-in-law was sleeping. Geneva was sleeping. Sonny and I were sleeping.
Except your kids.
Except Sarah and Seth, who decided to FaceTime my parents because we had all slept at 8:30, and they stayed up till midnight. So the beginning of our year was not very exciting. We were all asleep. Okay? So it was just like a mess. I mean, Geneva thinks I'm mad at her. Sister fights, how it is. It was just a disaster, okay? So I'm over here, and I'm trying to figure out what is going on. And I'm getting more annoyed with people. People keep asking me for things. People keep just asking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, leave me alone. I'm getting text messages, I'm getting all of these things, and I'm at work, and they're adding more. People's roofs are falling down. People are complaining of leaking. Their windows are whatever. Electricity is going off, and I'm just getting frustrated. So I go to Sonny. Babe, are you sure you're okay? I'm good. No, I'm serious. Are you sure you're okay? I am fine. God is good. God is great. And I go to God and I say, oh, you're going to make me walk this wilderness by myself. Sonny's not part of this one. And I freaked out. Because in 2012, I probably would have died if Sonny wasn't with me. So here I am. And I'm walking. And I'm thinking. And I'm processing. And every day is getting harder. Every day is getting more difficult, and I tell Sonny, I think I'm pregnant. And Sonny's like, that's impossible. No, I think I am. Okay, you're pregnant. Even though they tied your tubes when you had your third C-section. But yeah, you're pregnant. So I said, okay, I'm pregnant. That's what it is. I'm pregnant. Congratulations, Jackie, you're pregnant. I was pregnant with a wilderness. So I'm walking. And it got to a point over the last few weeks that, especially I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, that Sonny looked at me and he had no idea what to say. But you hide it as best as you can. You don't want people to know. So Sonny and I'm more annoyed with Sonny. I'm fighting with him over food that he's cooking. I'm fighting with him for not hugging me Saturday morning at 5 a.m. when he leaves to play basketball. And he never did that, by the way. Just for some reason. I don't know. For all of a sudden, it was a problem for me after 13 years of marriage. All of a sudden, now I was mad about it. I would fight with him over just everything. I would tell him, I would just fight with him. Your TV's too loud. You're always playing your video game. What are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean you're going to Walmart for the 5th time without me? What do you mean you went with Serenity to the mall and you didn't take me? What do you mean? What do you mean that you got to see Leo and Addis' house for the 7th time and I wasn't invited? What do you mean? Do they like you better than they like me?
Yep.
Yes, what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? My cell phone, my iPhone, I dropped it and I showed Sonny and he didn't say get it fixed. He didn't say get a new one. He just said, it works. What do you mean I don't need a phone? I work a full-time job. What do you mean? And Sonny's like, holy cow. What is wrong? Two Sundays ago, that was a weekend for us. We had the boys. They slept over that Saturday night. Everything was good, even though every day I'm feeling more and more depressed. Every day I'm feeling more and more sad. I'm sleeping earlier. I'm not hungry. I'm at work. People don't want to talk to me. My boss asked me if I was okay. My boss has been saying that I'm different. So 2 Sundays ago, it came all to a halt for me. I think it was 10:30 at night, and I locked up the clubhouse. And I looked at Sonny, and I said, you didn't even think about me when you planned on having 3 services a week. I'm being honest. And he said, what do you mean? You agreed to have Saturday prayer, Sunday service, and now a Wednesday night service. And you just expect me to go to all of it. Did you ever think that I'm tired? Did you ever think that I'm exhausted? I just have people asking things from me over every single day. And I'm crying and I'm telling him I can't do it anymore. I'm finished. I told him I'm done. I told him I'm weak.